Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mesa Public Schools Virtual College Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be your facilitator today. We have a number of fantastic schools here to speak with you. Before we get started, there are a few housekeeping items I'd like to go over. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You also have a Q&A button on the bottom of your screen that you can use to ask questions to our presenters at any time. If you do have a question for a specific school, be sure to mention them within your question. This is also one of many different sessions happening, so we do encourage you to go back out to the schedule to see what else might be available. There's another hour right after this and more programming tomorrow as well. And lastly, the session is being recorded. It will be available later at strivescan.com/Greater Arizona. Now, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first school, which is Bethany Lutheran College.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out the unmute button for myself. Hello, everyone. I am Audrey. I represent Bethany Lutheran College out in Mankato, Minnesota, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. A little about Bethany. We are a four-year school out in Mankato, Minnesota. So it's a little about an hour south of the Twin Cities, like Minneapolis and St. Paul. We're kind of in the southeast corner, located right on a hilltop with a beautiful downtown area right next to us, as well as a mall like 2 minutes away. So it's got a beautiful, we're really connected to the community that way, but you're always kind of escaping kind of to the top of the hill to be back in your safe college campus. A little about what we offer, because we're going to higher education, so academics should probably be at the forefront. We offer about 27 different majors and 25 different minors. So there's lots of things to choose from, ranging from your heavy STEM going into the pre-med program or physical therapy or things like that, to studio art, to broadcasting. We also offer pre-professional programs. So if you're interested in something like going to grad school for medicine or psychology, those kinds of things, we already have programs already mapping out for you the path that you need to take to get there. We also offer our graduate program in Christian counseling, which is super cool that we're able to have the opportunity to offer a graduate program at a school of our size. So a little about that specifically, we are at about 800 students enrolled this year across all of the different things that we offer at Bethany. Our student faculty ratio is about 11-1. And so what that meant for me as a student when I went there was that I got a really personalized education. I studied theater and really emphasized in costuming. And so instead of just going in a general really broad strokes theoretical perspective, I got a lot of hands-on experience, as well as a ton of learning that was really catering to me rather than just a general population within a larger major. So that's something that I really liked when I was there as a student, and something Bethany really loves and emphasizes is that personal connection that professors get to have with their students. We also have a really diverse population. We have students from all over the country living at Bethany in the dormitories. We also have 20 countries represented at our school, and it's always growing. And we get that really interesting international experience, as well as an interstate experience in the United States as well. There's people of all different walks of life, all different experiences, and they all get to learn in one place and learn from each other. A little about affordability, because everyone knows the cost of college is a little steep these days. The real cost of attending Bethany is about $37,000. And so that is the amount that we invest in you as students to come to school and to make sure that you have the experience that you need. To help mitigate that cost, because we want you to be able to afford a school and be comfortable and to have security in the future, as well as your finances. We give away 1.4 million annually in scholarships. The average cost of coming to Bethany actually ends up rounding down to about $16,000 a year. And even that is, can always go down with other scholarships, like outside scholarships as well. A little about student involvement as well, the things that we offer on campus. We offer 35 plus student-led clubs and organizations, and that number is always growing because students come up with incredible ideas of clubs that haven't been invented that they want to show on campus. We're also a Division III school, so about 40% of our students compete in varsity sports. So that means that teachers understand that there are lots of students that are coming for athletics, and so they're able to mitigate that in a classroom setting as well. It also means for students that are really passionate about playing in sports, we really emphasize that experience as well. But it also means that your ability to play doesn't mitigate the amount of time that you get to stay at a college. Your tuition money and your financial stability isn't tied to your academics. So in my experience, that has given a lot of freedom to students to really enjoy the sport they're playing without the huge pressure of their entire tuition on their back. We also offer lots of different fine arts. Obviously, I mentioned that I was a theater major. We offer tons of different plays and different experiences all of the time. We also have an esports team. We've been doing that for about 3-4 years now. Just this last year, last spring, actually, our team competed in a League of Legends tournament and ended up being ranked 3rd in the nation, which is super exciting and quite a badge on our shoulder for us. We've also offered a clay target team. That's also something you're interested in. And again, we are always growing in different things students can be involved in. And looking at the future and everything, when students graduate from colleges, about 80% of our graduates complete their degree in 4 years or less. About 91% of our students get jobs within 6 months of graduating. And if you're looking for things like graduate school, for things like pre-med or counseling, or if you're just interested in going into grad school afterwards, about 90% of our students get into their first choice, which is super great for us. And then looking at employment as well as experience in and out of the classroom, this graphic really displays all of the different, just a handful of companies that we have worked with and gotten internships with from our students. So there's really local ones like fun.com that does a lot of Halloween costumes. So it's a little more graphic design or costuming based, or the Moondogs, the minor league team in our city. They get interest in broadcasting and sports management people, or you can work with some really large, national companies like US Bank, ESPN, the Mayo Clinic Health System, Target. There's tons of opportunities, and there's always things for you to be interested in and working on while in school and outside of it. But I believe that's about everything I have for you guys. Thank you again for the opportunity to chat with you guys. I can't wait to chat with you more about your experience and help you with your college journey.
Thank you so much for your presentation. According to our agenda, William Jessup University would be presenting next, but unfortunately they were not able to join us. They have asked any interested students to go directly to their website to find more information and to connect with them directly. Up next, we will have California Lutheran University.
Hello there. Let me get my screen pulled up here. Just a sec. Here we go. All right, hopefully you all are seeing that. Hi, my name is Amanda Wallen. I am Assistant Director of Admission and Coordinator of Athletic Recruitment at California Lutheran University. We're located in Thousand Oaks, California. For those of you who aren't super familiar where that is, we're located smack dab between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara. If you're familiar with Malibu, we're just about 20 minutes straight inland from there. We're the #2 safest city in the country of our size. So families, parents, support systems feel really great about sending their students to our campus. Beyond that, I always like to mention, I know I'm kind of rattling off some stats here, but just want you to give you the intangibles that you can't get in this presentation or that you're not getting when you're actually visiting us. And so we're ranked in the top 10 friendliest campuses in the United States. And I was just telling someone earlier today that I think that that goes a long way, because you can get a degree, at any school that you're looking at, but you want to feel really comfortable where you do that. And so I highly suggest, I know right now it's a little bit difficult to go visit places, but definitely get on campuses, because it's how you're going to figure out if you do or don't like a school. And if you're going to be spending 4 years there, you might as well feel comfortable and welcomed while you're doing that. A little bit more on the number side of things, I call it the nitty gritty stuff. We're about 3,000 undergraduate students, so we do consider ourselves a mid-sized institution. But with that being said, we keep our class sizes intentionally quite small. So your average class size is going to be about 17 students. With that being said, we can actually guarantee that you graduate in 4 years, as long as you decide on your major by the end of your sophomore year. So we have something called the 4 to Finish program. And like I said, if you select your major by the end of your sophomore year, you are all set and guaranteed to graduate in 4 years. If you don't, we pick up the tab on any of the extra classes that you have to take. And none of our majors are impacted, so we can absolutely make that guarantee. Beyond our undergraduate programs, we have some graduate programs as well. So there's a lot of 4+1 opportunities. And if you have questions about what that looks like at CalLU, definitely use the chat, use the Q&A. I'm happy to walk you through that at the end of this presentation. But being that we're in Southern California as well, we do pride ourselves on being a diverse campus. So we are a designated HSI, or Hispanic Serving Institution, which means that at least 25% of our student population are coming from underrepresented backgrounds, but we have actually expanded that to now over 50%. So we're quite proud of that. College is a place where you should really be learning and growing from the people around you. And we feel that you can do that by surrounding yourselves with people that are different from you. So you can, really foster that exchange on our community. I know we're talking about CalLU, but let's talk about leaving CalLU. So I think for right now, a lot of students are hesitant about even asking about a study abroad opportunity, but we do have quite a few of those available to students. We have semester programs, year-long programs. My favorite type of study abroad option that we offer is called a travel seminar. And that essentially is a class that you take on campus all semester long at CalLU. And then at the end of that semester, you take a 3 to 4 week trip to see that place that you've been studying. So you go with your class, with your faculty member, and those are really great opportunities to both live and learn outside of your norm and get away from your bubble that you're used to for a bit. And with that, we really highlight an experiential learning opportunity on campus. So we want students to get out of the classroom as much as possible, internships, collaborations with local community partners, things like that. That's where we thrive in getting students plugged in and getting hands-on experience so that when they leave CalLU, they feel really prepared for their next steps. Coming back to campus, living on campus, we were ranked pretty high up there in California for our housing. It's all suite style or apartment style, if you will. You can see that here, the suite life. I actually lived on campus all 4 years when I was a student. I sometimes joke that the residence halls are nicer than where I live now, so I wish I still lived on campus. We were a pretty rare find in that parking is free and laundry is free for students. So I say that with asterisks because college is really expensive, and these are two places where we want to make it more affordable for our students. And you are welcome to bring a car as soon as your first year on campus. We don't have any restrictions for that. And beyond that, eating on campus is really great. We have a dining commons you'll see right here, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Is all you care to eat is what we say. And we have a Habits and Starbucks and Jamba Juice. So, you can find me fully caffeinated at all times. Down to the serious stuff here, we're pretty close to November 1st. So I'll run through these dates real quick. November 1st is early action. January 1st is regular decision. These pieces of the application here are very straightforward. Common App, official transcripts. We will look at your weighted GPA. Testing is optional, and we need 1 letter of recommendation. That's all that's required. As far as paying for college is concerned, anyone that applies is automatically considered for all of our scholarship options. I do really want to point out a couple options just to be specific here. Our presidential scholarship, you can be considered for with our early action deadline only. And that is a minimum of $25,000 up to full tuition. If you're interested in the arts, definitely take a look at our visual and performing arts scholarships. And then the public price promise is really where we shine. So if you apply to any of the UC schools in California, as well as Cal Lutheran, and get accepted at both places, we will match your average cost of attendance, giving you a private education for a public price. We will do that for out-of-state students as well. So for those of you coming from out of state as you are, we'll give that to you at the in-state rate. And hopefully I did that all on time, and I'll toss it to whoever's next.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if you do have questions for any of the institutions you are hearing from today, definitely don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A down below. Up next, we have California Baptist University.
Hi guys, my name is Braden. I am from CBU, so I'm excited to share with you guys. I'll get my screen up here. There we go. So yeah, I'll just give you guys kind of a quick overview of CBU and then talk through really who we are and kind of what sets us apart as a university. So just starting in with our general overview, our current student population sits at 11,491 students. And so that includes all of our graduate, our undergraduate, and our online students. So for you guys, you're going to be looking for a 4-year bachelor's degree. So that student population is about 6,708. And so we really think that's the perfect size. You know, it's not too big, but it's not too small. So you receive all of the, resources of a large, Division I university while still having the support and care that you can find at a private faith-based institution. And despite our, growth, none of our programs are impacted. So students are still able to take all of the classes they need to successfully graduate within 4 years. And we are WASC accredited, which is the same accreditation you'll find at a Cal State or a UC. And that just indicates a high standard of educational quality and rigor. But I want to go ahead and dive into, basically there's 3 key distinctives we believe set us apart from some other similar schools. And so the first one is our institutional momentum. So that really can be seen in that growing student population, as well as the buildings we've added on campus. So some of those buildings include our event center. This is just a great, large meeting space that we get to use on campus. Our engineering building, we're really excited about this one. It has state-of-the-art equipment for our engineering students, as well as just really great quiet study spaces for, the rest of the students on campus. Our parking structure. This is a great addition. So parking is free at CBU for all of our students. So you can have a car freshman through senior year and don't have to pay for that parking. And so this parking structure is just a great spot for our students to be able to park on campus. And then we have Magnolia Crossing. This is our brand new upperclassmen living area. And so we are ranked number 3 in California for best college dorms. Most of our apartments most of our living areas are apartment style. And then this is just a great addition as well. There's even a food court in the lobby, so you don't even have to leave the building to get food. And then we have our brand new front entrance. So this is just a great addition for really helping the flow of traffic onto campus. And then another, indicator of our institutional momentum is our rise to Division I in all of our athletics. So we recently transitioned, and our teams have been doing really well within that. And we've just gotten a lot more national recognition as well through this transition. And so all of those are great indicators of our institutional momentum, but we also believe they serve as great markers for our student-centric campus, because all of those buildings you saw and really all of those things are to provide resources to really enhance the students' experience. So students are at the heart of everything we do as a university, and we really want to make sure they have a support system to thrive academically, personally, and professionally. And so we have several offices that help create that support system, including our career center. So we want to help you get a job. So we have mock interviews so you can practice those interview skills. We bring employers onto campus for career fairs, as well as just helping you build out your resume. And then we have the Office of Student Success. So we want you to pass your classes. So tutoring is available for all of our students at no additional cost. So at any point you can just go into the tutoring office. They'll set you up with a tutor and help you out through those classes. And then we have our community life office. And so we want all students who come to CBU to feel like they're really a part of the Lancer family. And so we have several different clubs on campus, different events, intramural sports. We also have a rec center that students can use, which is really great, as well as taking students, off of campus to explore all that Southern California has to offer, whether it's going to the beaches, going up into the mountains, maybe going to Disneyland for, just a trip. And so we offer a lot of these activities at discounted rates. And I don't think I remembered to mention earlier, but we are located in, Southern California, Riverside. So about an hour and a half inland from LA, about 45 minutes from Disneyland, hour or so from the beaches. So really a great place to explore, and our community life office really wants to help students do that. And then we have our residence life office. So like I mentioned before, most of our living is apartment style. And we are ranked number 3. And what really does make that ranking so high is our residence life staff and all of the RAs who really just pour into students and provide them resources to enhance their experience. And then our spiritual life office just wants to provide students the resources to grow in their faith wherever they may be at in that journey. And then our last distinctive is our academic breadth. So at CBU, we currently have over 80 majors and over 150 combinations of majors, minors, and concentrations. So you can see the full list here, but our 5 largest programs are business, engineering, nursing, kinesiology, and psychology. But not only do we have, those larger programs or the more common ones that you'll find at many schools, we also have more niche offerings like aviation, architecture, interior design, different things like that you're not going to find at a lot of other schools, specifically other private faith-based schools. So that's just a cool opportunity to set our students up for success. And then inside the classroom, you spend a lot of time with your professors who really just take the time to get to know their students and really help them through that. And so we currently have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we have those small class sizes to really help you get to know your professors. And 82% of them do have the top degrees in their field. And so they really care about their students and want to pour into them and give back to them and help them succeed in the career as well. 100% of our staff and faculty are Christian at CBU, so we are unapologetically Christian. We integrate it into everything that we do as a university. Now, we do not require our students to be Christian in order to attend CBU. We like to say you do not have to believe to belong. We welcome students from all faith backgrounds and all walks of life, and we think they blend in very beautifully with the CBU community. We do have 2 faith-based requirements. We require students to attend 9 units of Christian studies, which is about 3 classes over the course of 4 years. And then we require you to attend 15 chapels per semester. But real quick, just the roadmap for CBU, I'll go ahead and put in the chat the link to our application. And so it's very straightforward. You'll be able to see that there, as well as my contact information. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, and I can definitely help get those answered for you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Our final institution for this session is Houston Baptist University.
Hello, hello, or should I say howdy. Welcome from Houston, Texas. Glad to be here with the big yeehaw for this evening. So we are so glad to be here. And yes, it is such a pleasure. So I am going to show y'all a little bit about HBU, and I am thankful that y'all are all here. So again, so starting with everything, let me move forward here. Technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, so at a glance, a little bit about HBU. We are our demographics, right? We're about 4,000 students strong. So we love our student base. Again, we are one of the top 5 most diverse campuses, according to US News and World Report. So as we like to say, we love that for us. So it is great. As you can see here, we have about 30% first gen, 74% test optional, with 22 denominations on campus. So as you can see, again, we are not just a Baptist institution. We have several other denominations on campus, such as non-denominational Catholic, other students. And again, like we heard from other schools earlier, we do not have a requirement, again, in terms of a different faith. We have different students of non-faiths or different faiths. And so we are very welcoming. And like I like to say, we have a seat at the table for you at HBU, where you care about your name, your narrative, and your need. We'll talk about that a little bit. Again, we have about 4,000 students to about 2,400 undergraduate again. And you can see our ethnicities over here. We are very diverse and are very proud of like we like to say, we reflect the city that we're in, and we're very proud of that. So moving on, again, over 70 majors and emphases. We have 72 majors. Our top 5 are psychology, business, engineering, biology, and nursing. So as you can see those there, we have those, and we are very happy about that. And again, so a little bit more about us. Again, integration of faith into learning, like we heard from other schools earlier. Everything we do, we integrate our faith into our learning. We do require 2 Christianity classes for undergraduates. And again, 100% of faculty teach courses. So unlike some bigger schools, you will get that personal time, love, and care. Like I said, your name, narrative, need is met. And we do that through, again, other things like our McNair Center for Entrepreneurship and Free Enterprise, which is a great resource for small business owners and aspiring businessmen and women. It's fantastic. And again, you also get that in 25 student average class sizes. And we have 9 pre-professional programs, everything from pre-med to pre-pharmacy. So a little bit more about us. Again, university-wide discipleship is a big thing for us. We have weekly convocation as well. Wednesdays and Thursdays, you just have to have 80 credits to graduate, 50 from chapel or convocation, 30 from chapel or anything else as well. We also have community service opportunities as well. That's, again, something we care about, with the city of Houston being the fourth largest city, which is an invaluable resource to you for internships, jobs, but also service and churches. We have that opportunity for you as well. We have 70+ organizations. Some of those are like FCA, Navigators, Young Life. So if you want to do anything from honor societies to Bible studies to Greek life, so sororities, fraternities, and intramurals, we have that for you. Again, we have beach reach, Croatia, and we have an Israel trip for only $500 for students. So that is really exciting. As I like to say, I'm going back to school for that. So no, we have a good time and we love that. So like I said, we are number 5 in U.S. News and World Report in campus diversity, like I mentioned. We have those 70+ organizations, like I mentioned, and Greek life led by our students. We are D1 with 17 sports represented. Our soccer and volleyball are doing very well, and we are very happy about that. Again, we also got Coach Lance Berkman as our new head coach, so we're very excited about that as well. Another Houston legend. And also, again, we have great residential dorms and intramural sports. Like I said, our dorms also do an annual crawfish boil, and they're also looking to start an esports organization as well on campus. So lots of great things. We have something for everybody here at HBU. And like I said, welcome to Houston. So we have the 15-minute list, Herman Park, great parks around Houston. The museum district as well is fantastic. And the Galleria. I don't know if anybody likes to shop like I do, but that's a great place to go if you like that. And again, the other things I tell people is you're not just getting a small intentional community at HBU, you're also getting the city of Houston at your disposal. So for 28 Fortune 500 companies, oil and gas, all the way to automotive, as well as the biggest medical center in the world in Houston with MD Anderson. And we also have Memorial Hermann Southwest, literally bordering on our campus. So if you're looking for an internship job, anything like that, we have the opportunities for you in Houston. So you're getting that small intentional community in a big city, or you can be, as we like to say, a big fish in a small pond at HBU, where your name, narrative, need is cared about. So again, concerts, exhibits. We also have cultural centers like museums on our campus as well. All this was about 15 to 20 minutes. So we have all that at your disposal as well. So moving on, this is also our Moore Center for Law and Liberty, where our legal studies and new events are going to be held. So that is going to be fantastic, an Independence Hall replica. On top of that, we also have our Pillars, which is on the edge of campus. We have tons of restaurants. So everything from Chipotle, Whataburger to Wingstop, and of course, Chick-fil-A. I can't go without Chick-fil-A. So we have that for y'all at HBU. And on top of that, again, we are test optional traditional. You can see the differences here. Again, for the sake of time, I won't go through too much. Essay is required for test optional, traditional it is not. SAT, ACT scores right there for traditional. It is not required again for test optional. So that is how you do it. We strongly recommend recommendations, of course, limit 2 for your test optional students. But of course, as well, recommendations are more optional for traditional. No application fee for any of our applications. Takes about 30 minutes to an hour, so you should definitely apply. Lastly, again, we also have October 1st. We are enrolling app season. November 1st, our early app deadline. So you'll want to be on top of that. Financial aid awards, we will drop those if you have your FAFSA and have been admitted. We will do that for you. The deposit deadline is right there. Again, we gave away $37 million in scholarships and grants last year during COVID. So you definitely want to take advantage of those, and I'll show those to you right now. We also have alumni legacy. We have family went to HBU, also church matching and ministerial dependent and talent awards for music, athletics, band, cheer, and choir and band. These are our scholarships. They go from almost $100,000 for over 4 years to about $40,000 over 4 years. So definitely you'll want to take advantage of this, and you would love that. Again, also check us out. We do Husky Huddles at 10 a.m. on Instagram, virtual web chats and tours as well. So we have a little bit of something for everybody. So we would love for y'all to check us out on social media. We do virtual tours, so definitely come see us in person and virtually. And last but not least, thank you so much for your time. I will also post my information in the chat. Those are our phone numbers and how to reach us on social media. Thank y'all so much. Bye.
Thank you very much for your presentation. We do still have some time left in our programming, so we are going to move on to the Q&A portion of our presentation. I'm going to invite our representatives to come back on and answer the following question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we will go in presentation order. So I'm going to turn it over to Bethany Lutheran College.
I think that the most important thing that changed the game for me when I was looking at colleges was going to see places in person. I actually was an out-of-state student when I went to Bethany. I'm from Kansas originally, so Arizona, not as close, but still a very similar experience. But seeing places in person, seeing what you're going to be living in for the next 4 years is something that's really important, to get the actual vibe of all of the institutions that you're looking at. So that's what I would suggest.
California Lutheran University.
Great advice, Audrey. My take would be, this is gonna sound really lame, but like, you do you, boo. Like, you have to be your honest, authentic self in the application so that we know if you're gonna be a good fit for us, and we know that it's a give and take sort of relationship of not every school is made for every student and not every student is made for every school. So definitely be yourself throughout the application process. And my other piece of advice is to get to know the admissions staff so they can advocate for you in the application review.
California Baptist University.
Yeah, great advice so far. I think I definitely second visiting campuses. I think just seeing for yourself is such a big thing, and seeing if it's a good fit for you. I think also just, really thinking through like, what do I want to study, and not necessarily thinking through like, okay, I know I need this program, but just knowing that the college has the opportunity to try some different things out if you are between those, because that can be really helpful instead of being like, oh, I went in studying this and then they don't have my major anymore once I decide to switch and now I have to look for a new school. So just kind of being aware of that if you're kind of between things, make sure you kind of are set up for that in the beginning.
Houston Baptist University.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say my biggest piece of advice would be to be curious, not judgmental. Think about it, go through everything, think about, be open, and as you're exploring, be very introspective during this time, ask good questions. Don't settle for anything. I think we kind of heard that a little bit. Don't settle for anything, and just be yourself, and enjoy this process. Because to tell you the truth, it's a very surreal moment and it goes by quick. And then you're starting school and you get really busy, right? This is a very busy season, but just take time to enjoy it, savor it, ask good questions, be introspective, talk to your admissions counselors. We're here for you, of course. And just enjoy it, right? Just go along for the ride and enjoy it.
Thank you everyone for those wonderful pieces of advice. We're going to move on to our second question, which is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And I'll turn it back over to Bethany Lutheran.
I think the thing that I valued the most about Bethany, and the thing that I see professors and people in our college community emphasize and really like the most, is the personalization and the close culture that comes with it. People really care about each other here, and they want to see you succeed in what you want to be, in what you're interested in. And so I think that aspect of Bethany, the personalization and that close community and connections that you get with people, is something that I really value, and I think everyone else does as well.
California Lutheran.
I would say a very similar sentiment, but I think for the purpose of this, I'll just say that affordability is a real piece of the equation when you're looking at a private college, and we will do our best to make it as affordable for students. We never want a student to turn away or have the debate at home about public versus private. We want to be a forefront in that conversation and make it as affordable as possible for you.
California Baptist.
Yeah, I'd say one thing I would want you to just remember about CBU is that if you're looking for, kind of that, larger college experience, and you're not wanting, nothing against smaller schools, everyone has what they're interested in. But if you're kind of looking, want that large experience, but still want a private faith-based education, CBU really does have that best of both worlds, and you don't have to choose between the two. You can get the best of that, as well as, if you're looking for specific programs, again, you don't have to compromise on, well, I want to go to private faith-based, but I also want this, and that wins out, because you can get the best of both worlds at CBU.
Houston Baptist.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. I think the one thing I tell people, and this is one of the most important things, is if you want a small intentional community, like I said, with over 70 majors, so something to study, over 70 organizations as well, fun things to do, spiritual life, things like that. And also, again, a campus that cares about your name, narrative, and need in the 4th largest city in the nation, with endless job opportunities, internships, and things to do. Then I think you found your match, where you can be a big fish in a small pond, and that cares about you, you're loved, and you're cared for. So, yeah.
All right, moving on to our last question. What is one myth that you would like to debunk on the college admissions process? And I'll turn it back to Bethany.
Oh man, it's so big. I think probably the biggest one is the biggest fear factor. You know, are there going to be hidden fees in admissions? Do these people actually care about me? Those kinds of things. So at least, Bethany, and also looking at other colleges, finding those free applications, finding those free application periods, those things are really important. But college admissions counselors want the best for you. We're not the bad guys or anything like that. We care about you, and we want you to succeed in your college search.
California Lutheran.
Yeah, I would say that same exact thing, that we're looking to accept. We're not looking to deny. So we're always looking for the best in students, and the best way for us to do that is to get to know you very well. So as many touch points as you can have with an admissions office, the better. If we know your name before we even get to your application, that's a great thing for us to experience. And so we're looking to advocate, not to deny.
California Baptist.
Yeah, I think very similar to everyone else. I think I would just add that, we do really want what's best for you. And so we're going to work with you. Obviously, we want you to come to our school, but at the end of the day, we know that not everyone, is going to come to CBU, and we know that it's not the best fit for everyone. And so we really just want to help you and give you the resources, even if you don't come to our school, to really just thrive in college wherever you do end up. So, lean into our offices, whatever school you're applying to, really use the resources of your admissions counselor, because they can be a very beneficial tool and just resource for you.
Houston Baptist.
Yeah, and I would echo some of what we just heard, which was really well put. I like this question because I think the biggest thing I hear more than anything else, the admissions process, is I'm sorry to bother you, or I don't want to bother you, or I'm sorry for asking so many questions. Please do that. I think, like we heard earlier, the biggest myth is the ones we tell ourselves. And so especially the fact that maybe, do I even matter to this person, to this rep, to this school? The fact is, you absolutely do matter. We exist because of you. So if it wasn't for y'all, for the students, we are so grateful for that at HBU. We wouldn't exist. And so we recognize that. We appreciate that. You're appreciated. You're loved here. And not only just that, but we love to answer questions. We just heard from some of the panelists. So like I said, we love to answer questions. We love to connect. That's a big thing. And so ask as many questions, because that is why we are here. So thank you all.
And thank you, panelists, for answering all of my wonderful questions. Well, we have come to the end of our programming, so I'd like to thank all of our participants for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you could provide to us. We also encourage you to go back out and check the schedule. There's an additional hour up next and more programming tomorrow as well. And lastly, you'll also be able to find this session's recording and all other recordings at strivescan.com/Greater Arizona. Again, thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.